we're going to get to step into this next level of our father energy as far as being the guardians and the protectors of our planet. So for each of you that is here and for everyone else in the group, I've had quite a few contact that say they're doing a few things. I know some will still be logging on, some are driving on the road, others are busy, but let's just bring everyone into our awareness this evening. And from wherever you are, let's just make a huge circle. And beginning to breathe in and anchor into your present moment of now, your I am presence, just holding and anchoring a spot within the circle. Allow yourself to take your energy stream all the way down through the layers of the earth and connect to that plasma field in the center of the earth. And as you do, let's go ahead and just bring up our 24-dimensional shield. And give a little bit of extra hydration and energy to that liquid plasma light that comes up, allowing it to sparkle with the crystalline light like waters that are coming up with it, and bring it up through you as a love, as an essence, as unconditional love, compassion, awareness. This is the Christ consciousness dimensional field that we're working with here within the fourth harmonic universe, and just bringing all of that sparkly essence up like a geyser of waterfall all the way around you. And let your toroidal field just amplify around you so that it's as big as the room that you're in. That it's coming through your central column and channels, but it's coming out, even noticing how it kind of comes out all of your chakras, purifying each and every chakra in your body this evening, just flushing them out, flushing out all the lines, flushing out all of your nervous system, all of the different organs and systems and tissues and cells and molecules in your body. Just allow it to radiate out, and just allow, as you breathe that in, and the next breath, we're just going to connect with our pineal gland. Activating that flow of the DMT through your body as it activates your pineal gland, and let that gateway open up like a stream of light pouring out to the galactic center, the galactic core. That we are connecting with our true ancestry lineage when we connect with the galactic core. That within our human form that we are in, within this incarnation on Earth, we can think of our ancestors from the galactic core as almost removed from us about 12 strands or 12 kind of modifications from our form, that our light body has the ability to connect back to the great central sun, to the galactic core. But at this vibration, we're holding a density here, which is a gift. It really is a gift that we get to experience, but it's just been so heavy for us in this lifetime because we're so used to flowing with our energetic form. So just let that energy flow through the physicality. Start to feel how you can actually use the body to sense and feel this dimension, this reality, and to let that stream of all of that information go right back up into the galactic core and the galactic source, and just feel that stream going through, moving from the galactic core through you to the core of the earth as a beautiful triad of energy of the mother, the father, and you as the child. Feel for a moment how loved you have always been, how supported you have always been, how in harmony the mother and father have always been. Let yourself merge with your higher self now, imagining that place in your 8th chakra right above your head. If you were to put your hands together above your head, you would feel your next chakra point up above your head, and you can feel that is connecting to your I am presence, your eternal interface to all of your higher dimensional levels of consciousness. And just from that perspective, sensing and feeling the Divine Mother, the Divine Father, and you in this physicality as the expression that gets to be completely loved, supported, guided, and to become that conduit that houses both within you now, so that you can be that warrior, that protector, and that strength, the guardian here in physical form. And for a moment, to your higher self, commending and saying and speaking from your higher self into your higher self, I acknowledge that I am a divine essence existing and experiencing physicality through this human body. I acknowledge that I am a divine child, fully and completely embraced, supported, and loved by the divine. The mother always holding, the father always supporting. Higher self, and speaking to your higher self, say this out loud if you can. Higher self, I am ready to embody my full higher self consciousness as a Christ avatar God self being realized in physical form. I am ready to step into guardianship on this planet. As I walk through the path of this evening, I make the declaration to clear all lower vibrations and frequencies in order to fully and completely be that realized God self. And so it is. And from this space, as we say, our declaration of intention, that we declare from the core of our heart our intention to serve our source. We align ourselves fully and completely to the heart of the one infinite creator. We dedicate this life to being our true heart song across all the cosmos. We surrender our ego now to be in service to the law of one mission, a first cause light as a pillar of light. In the light of truth, we declare and intend, I am that I am. I am a soul, sovereign being, and so it is. Taking a deep breath. And let yourself amplify your 24-dimensional shield around you. It creates your Merkaba field around you, as well as a container of light, a pillar of light. This is your radiance in your plasma field, that when you completely activate this plasma field to the highest dimensional frequencies, you create a plasma that is so bright, so powerful, that nothing below its resonance that does not exist within harmony of it, within service to the law of one mission, can exist within it. It creates such a radiance and evanescence that anything at a lower vibration just kind of burns up and dissipates coming anywhere near it. So you become the pillar of first cause light that can calibrate this field in order to be the nurturing, loving support to whomever you speak to whatever land that you are gently holding, cleansing, loving, rebalancing, and restoring. And in any way that you are holding the space for your physical body as a vehicle in order to maintain and support it in this life, that you are the driver of this vehicle, and your plasma field around you is just as much a part of you in your body as your skin or your muscles or your bones or any other aspect of you. It is something that you would want to bring into your awareness just as much as you make sure that you've combed your hair or taken a shower or gotten dressed, that you also take the time to make sure that your field is prepared and ready every time that you leave or go anywhere or interact with anyone. And so just allowing yourself to sense and feel that now, and allow it to just permeate and emanate into the field where you are. And let's anchor it down wherever you are, right into the earth. And I want you just to allow yourself to remote view, just allow your inner vision, your inner sight to just drop down 100 feet into the earth beneath your feet. And as you sense and feel, just allow yourself to sense whether or not you feel the emotions. Sometimes you may feel the emotions of that place. You may feel the thinking, so the consciousness of that space. You may sense and feel the location. Sometimes it's the earth, it's the minerals, it could be waterways, it could be open tunnels into inner earth, it could be crystalline veins, it could be anything. So just sensing and feeling and just dropping into it, and just the first impressions when you drop down 100 feet, just the first impression. Does it feel vital and happy and loved, or does it feel as though it is something that you can increase the vibrational love, compassion, and frequency in it, and just hold yourself in awareness of witnessing it. Allow from your higher self to say, I see you, I feel you, I notice you, I love you. I am here. And from your infinite field of consciousness, just allow your higher self to imagine, or allow the land to just speak to you what would be most appropriate to balance it, whether it be an actual elemental such as water, purification, rebalancing of the electromagnetic lines in the area or the ley lines, or just bringing in unconditional love. And I will tell you, one of the most powerful energies to anchor into the different layers of the earth is joy. Childlike joy, and almost imagining as if you had a field full of children just dancing and running and laughing and playing and giggling, and all of that energy of the joy of the children. And just imagine just you pulling in a field like that right into the earth. And to the earth we say, I love you, I love you, I love you. And from our circle that we're creating, let's let all of these waves and frequencies touch each other, and to create a full sphere, and let it wash through the earth. Let's imagine the earth for just a moment to be like a sponge. And we're going to fill up this dry sponge. We're going to fill it up with the laughter of children, with the dancing, with the giggling, with the playing, with the joy. And this is a childlike joy that even as an adult, we do it. Remember your moments where something makes you squeal with excitement or joy or happiness, love, excitement, and just amplify that field from your pure I am presence, and just let's soak the earth up with this vibration as it moves through all the layers, right underneath our feet, and allow it to soak all the way down into the 24-dimensional shield, that plasma field in the earth, and let that sparkle just dance and tingle all through all of the layers. For one moment, allow yourself to be so completely entrained into this vibration that this is the reality that's happening on earth. For one moment, I want you to imagine deleting everything that you think is happening or that you think you know is happening on the earth, be it with other people, the news, work, anything. And I want you to take all of that and I want you just to turn that off. Turn that channel off. And just for one moment, I want you just to imagine the world all together, us holding this circle, the planet purely vibrating, every human being on the planet, childlike joy and wonder moving through everyone, waking up their heart centers. Almost as if there's so much laughter and joy on the planet that the planet almost shakes with a giggle that ripples out through the atmosphere, and imagining those waves moving out to Mercury, to Venus, to Mars, to Jupiter, to Saturn, to Neptune, to Uranus, to Pluto, to the sun, out through all of the moons around Jupiter and all the planets and the asteroid belts, and out, and let it rippling out as it starts to move through the spiral of the Milky Way through to the Andromedan. Let's let our sister galaxy hear the giggle from our galaxy of us reemerging and reuniting. And as those waves ripple out, we're being called to come back to Earth for a moment in your imagination and come back into the Earth. And I want you to imagine now activating all of the insects, all of the reptiles, all of the mammals on the planet, childlike wonder and joy, playfulness. Think of a baby elephant playing and laughing and splashing in the water, or a baby goat jumping and playing, or the insects just singing in the trees, or the birds dancing and singing. And move it through the waters and imagine all of our all of our inner water beings and friends, the dolphins and the whales and all of the different animals and beings within the water, completely singing, the sound of the whales and the laughter of the dolphins like an amplifier in a microphone resonating out. And now let all of that, hold all of that. So we have trillions of souls on this planet that are holding this joy, this amplification, and this vibration all the way out, and send it like a ripple. And from your higher self, proclaiming, as my higher self, I dedicate myself to be a guardian, to hold the highest resonance, vibration, and frequency on this planet for all the trillions of sentient beings who are having a physical experience within this reality, and for all the trillions of beings who are having an experience in this reality without a physical form. I declare to be the guardian as an emissary of light, and so it is. Now, from this vibration, let's continue to hold this circle. And part of the joy of what we get to experience as a group together is to be in this vibration, but also now to let's incorporate a little bit of our conscious mind. I'm going to turn on a PowerPoint. And as I share the screen with this PowerPoint, our gift is to hold this vibration simultaneously while we are able to still consciously be within this reality. This is part of our training and our gift of how we actually become multi-dimensional beings within this reality. What we are doing is we are holding all of the dimensions simultaneously so we can actually exist in the 3D, the 4D, the 5D, the 6D, the 7D, the 8D, the 9D, the 10D, the 11D, and the 12D within this, and we can actually hold an awareness to the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th of the fifth harmonic universe. And so we begin to learn to navigate, but we're the ones that are holding the new morphogenetic field of this planet. So what we're doing by imagining and holding this frequency, we're overlaying and recreating the new morphogenetic field here so that all on this planet can step back into this. So we are going to assist all of our indigenous ancestors on this planet and create this network of this joy and this love. So this week, we get to do part 3 of really expressing ourselves within the role of the father. And this one's really about protection and strength. And within this protection and strength, it's also going to be about us bringing really in all of our soul retrieval, all of our timelines coming into the present now. So all of our wounded inner childs, and all aspects that have ever been left on any other timeline, in any other place, in any way, that we get to bring them back home. So just a reminder that the role of the father has been really that the father holds the energy for building virtues. So I want you to imagine in this net, in this morphogenetic field that we're holding as a circle right now, just put into the blueprint the codes of these words that we're going to speak. Love, unconditional love, emotional connection, protection, connection, relationship, guidance, purpose, morals, being an example. That as we hold this morphogenetic field now within our plasma field, within our intentions, that now you are adding into your plasma field, your aura, your light body, all of these codes of being this whole pillar of light, holding the virtues through unconditional love, being the protector. So again, knowing that a child desires protection. So within your field, you're holding that net within you that you know you are a protector now. You know that you create provision, providing. Providing is about stability. Providing is about security. Providing is about all of the nurturing and the nourishment. So it actually is encompassed even within that mother energy. So hold that within your field. The idea of presence, being in the now with someone, that in truth, that is the real core foundation to any relationship, any connection, and anything we do. That if we are even just 100% present in the now moment with someone, if you're talking to someone, truly listen. Be present with them. Don't think about your emails or what you have to do later or anything like that. And if we can actually get into that presence, that transforms lives. Sometimes that is all that's even needed. We don't even have to do anything else other than be 100% present in the moment and know that when we hold that within our auric field, the earth feels it as we're walking. She feels us being present with her. The elementals feel it. Every being feels it around. and praise, that we can hold the essence within our aura and our plasma field around us of being this pillar of first cause light, the emissary of light, which is here to uplift, which is here to strengthen, which is here to guide and to gift remembrance to every soul on this planet. So therefore, within the words of praise, what we're really saying to someone is, I see you. And you are beautiful. You are incredible. You are valuable. You are worthy. And you are so loved. So as we move through this, we can start to understand it now that in the last couple weeks, we were a little bit more kind of in our personal energy with the Father. So the first week was really about our actual parental figure within our life, whoever they were, be it our biological father or anybody who played that role for us in our life. And we got to see whatever beliefs our child selves actually bought into, so that we could start to take that responsibility from the child, so that we could actually set all of that free, start to collapse those timelines. Last week, we really worked with the whole idea of how the father figure is really where we start to create our foundation for relationships. And we're going to touch into a little bit more of this today, but that our relationships are our great ability to actually see where there's any imbalance inside of us, inside our heart, inside our belief systems, and inside of how we feel about ourselves. So any of the relationships in our life, if there's an imbalance in any of them, we know that regardless of how supportive and what a great role model potentially our father figure was for us, be it whether it was a male or a female holding that role, that if there's a schism in any one of our relationships, we also can tell that there was just a lack of that example within that particular radiance of the energy field. So we can look at the idea of relationships as a spectrum of frequencies or colors. And a father figure has the ability, potentially in wholeness, to actually be completely balanced in every radiance. But most human beings on the planet don't have a full radiance spectrum. So usually we will have imbalances at some point with some of the relationships in our life that can lead us to any kind of information as to whether it was this life, from our ancestors, from a past life, or is it earth karma, something within the land that we're here to heal? So our father energy, now we get to start to understand that is for today is, who am I? The father energy, when we have a solid foundation, when we feel that praise, that being provided for, the protection, all of this that we've been receiving as a foundation of support, guess what? As a developing child, then one starts to feel that it's safe to explore who you are. But if there's not a solid foundation within the upbringing in an emotional way, there becomes schisms. There becomes the ability to need to find our identity outside of ourselves. And this is where we hear such a prevalence on the planet. I don't know who I am. I don't know what my path is. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I want to do with my life, and all of these kind of radiances that come on so many different spectrums, even down to the indecisions of, hey, where do you want to eat tonight? And you'll have a group of people all just sitting there going like, I don't know, where do you want to eat? And everyone just kind of sits there because there's not that level of foundation to just go ahead and make a decision on that, or to be the one that steps forth. So who am I? And this question comes forth as a self. So who am I as an individual? Gets developed by a strong foundation. Who am I in the family? What is our place? What is our role as we start to take an ability to take a precedence in a community, as a group? Have an individuality, but also be a part of something greater than yourself. And then who am I in a relationship? So where is the balance within the relationship? Because a relationship on every level has the ability to be a divine union of the male and female, be it with work, be it with friends, be it with your actual lover, whomever it may be. Every relationship has the ability to be a divine cohesiveness and balance and structure. So the confidence comes really to be able to act and to be from your own internal compass in all walks of life. And again, just sense and feel for a moment what it feels like. Each of us are more at a place right here in this very now moment to know what it feels like to have confidence to act from your own internal compass, right? That you can feel what's right for you, that you could tell somebody, no, I don't want to do that. That agreement doesn't feel right for me. No, I don't feel like that is correct for me. To be able to actually verbalize, speak, and express yourself as your divinity. And it's regardless of whether or not other people agree with it or not. That is the really great testing and barrier boundary for us. So are we able to speak our voice from our compass? So when we speak from our compass, it has compassion within it, it has love within it, it has truth within it. So it's not from a low vibration, it's just from a state of our truth, that if it's either a yes or a no for us, whether or not we do or don't want to do something. And if we get to that place where we can feel that something's a no, but there's some part of us that's afraid to be the one that says no when everyone else says yes, or to be the one that stands against the grade, or actually is vulnerable and releases your or expresses your emotions in front of others. And if we've ever feel ourselves holding back because that's either embarrassing or scary or vulnerable, or I just, I would rather just go along with it, it'll be easier. That, no judgment, but it's really a beautiful place for us to get to see, hey, wow, isn't that interesting? I feel within myself that I didn't take the step that I actually felt was right for me. And we can at another time go ahead and go through the clearing process in order to be able to balance that place within us, because truly, as guardians and as emissaries of light, this is where we actually start to stand into our courage. And I have a story I would actually like to share with you about this. So as I share this story, I'm going to actually have this page up. This is the list of the different examples of relationships that we have within this lifetime in this incarnation. All of these are different frequencies, those different radiances or spectrums. And knowing again that there may have been beautiful supportive figures in our life that gave us examples for some of them, and then we may find that in others we didn't have as great a security or ability or example to develop or grow within this. So hold this. So as we're talking about being able to act from your truth and your radiance, we want to have our truth and our radiance within every single one of these relationships. So there's a story, and I will actually share this YouTube video because it's a beautiful example of how many of our indigenous tribes on this planet have been being the guardians and the gatekeepers for the land. And this is a particular video about a Hopi elder who he was born in 1909, I believe, and passed away in 1999, but he shared a beautiful story of the energy. And part of the energy of what he shared was that his people have always had an understanding that between the 4 sacred mountains, that within this region here, within Arizona, within Utah, New Mexico, and I believe Colorado, we have these 4 sacred mountains. And he says he's always known that his people were put in charge of being the guardians of this land, that that was their job, and that they use prayer, they use all of these different sacred elements and rituals and connection and fasting. He mentioned fasting multiple times, and just these sacred things that they do in order to continually commune with the land, that their whole thing is about just being connected with the land, feeling the ecosystem of the land, feeling the nature of the land, seeing how it's flowing and going. And he says, this is my purpose. This is my life. This is the purpose of my people. This is why we are here. And we have been doing this since time eternal, as far as in their energy of their bloodline. So when you have an indigenous people that holds energy on a particular place of land, their bloodline is so ingrained with the DNA of the land that they literally can move the energy of the land. They become part of it, much like the Aboriginals within Australia. They stay in one location and place, and wherever, when a woman is pregnant, whenever the baby kicks in her belly, they actually mark the place in the land where she was standing when the baby made movement in her belly, because they say that is where the child is connecting with the land, and that child forever then in that incarnation becomes the guardian of that particular ley line on the land. That is how ingrained they are. So why so many people get drawn to them is because they're just holding this solid remembrance of their truth of who we are. And most people in westernized societies are very lost to their soul and their purpose. So they get very drawn to come in and be with this energy. And he said that this is my purpose. This place is my land. So here's where the compass comes in. He knows his purpose. He knew his purpose without sway or doubt. He says, you, all of these white men are starting to drop. They called them the gourds with fire within, so bombs on the planet. And he says they were dropping bombs on the planet, and then the United States went to war, the Second World War. And he says, my people were never meant to fight. He says, we were never, ever meant to leave this land. We are the guardians between the four sacred mountains. This is our place. We never leave the land, and we're never meant to fight. And he's all like, that is not even our battle. That is not our land. We do not belong there. And so many were, the United States was trying to recruit many of them to go into the army, to go to war, to ship them overseas. And he says, I refused. The FBI came to me and they told me, we will take care of you as long as you agree. And he says, that is not my purpose. I am a Hopi. This is my land. My job is to protect and guard the land. That is my job. And so he says, for 7 years, I was imprisoned for not enlisting. And for 7 years, I did my best to be the best Hopi that I could be while I was in that space, because this is who I am. And I want you just to feel that energy, that dedication, that love, that selflessness. Because think about it. I want you just to expand this idea for a moment. In our heart, we know this. We are the indigenous guardians and keepers of the land. We are the galactic emissaries that are here. We don't own this land. It doesn't belong to us. Whether or not we say we own our house, we're really being a guardian of that land. It gives us an opportunity to at least say, I will be the emissary and guide and protect this land. Our indigenous brothers and sisters on this planet haven't tried to own the land. And they did everything without receiving anything in return, and with most of it being stripped away and then being pushed even off of it or into a corner of it. And to be able to hold that energy. And so can you feel for a moment, just for a moment, the dedication of that compass, of being a guardian, being a protector, and to sense and feel within you just that union. And so now I invite each and every one of you to just look at this list. And again, I will just read it out. What is our relationship with family, with ourself, with love, with friendships, with connections? What's our relationship with sexual energy, sexuality? Our relationship with food, with money or abundance, material things? What is our relationship with belief systems, spirituality or religion, mind, ego, nature, gifts and capabilities? What is your relationship with your higher self? What is your relationship with life? And what is your relationship with death? I invite each and every one of you to take the opportunity to take relationships a level deeper and to really go within and find, what is my moral compass? What are my virtues? Where do I stand? And would I be willing to stand to that compass no matter what happens, whether or not, like our Hopi brother before us, who lived a living example, that he knew his purpose so well that there was nothing that was going to sway him from it. So he would rather be imprisoned to be close to his land because he knew that was his purpose. So for you, it's to find your purpose. What is your compass? What is your goal? And that is to go in right now and just be for yourself. Be for yourself these 4 things. Be your protection. Be your provision, which means you feel within yourself your safety, your security. Nothing outside of you is necessary. You are everything you need. Be your own presence. Be mindful with yourself. The mindfulness practice that we talk about every single week, that is being present. Just as much as we want to be present with others, even more so, we should be present with ourselves. To be present with our physicality, be present on the earth, to actually celebrate for once, because I know I lived this path too. I had to come back into this understanding. There was so much disassociation from pain and trauma in the early years that it took a while to come to the understanding to actually come back into being present in the body and to actually enjoying and wanting to be here, to stop trying to get off the planet or leave, or to be connected with another source or in another way, to actually be present here, to be that presence and to be praised. That in the mirror every morning, that in everything we do, what words do we speak about ourselves? How are we seeing ourselves in the mirror? That every single thing we speak about ourselves or to ourselves should be in the highest vibration, uplifting and love, and from the voice of our higher self. And as we imbue that within our auric field, that becomes part of our moral compass, our truth of who we are and who we came here to be as the guardians. And we actually are going to find that our purpose and who we are and finding what that purpose is not a mystery. It's not even difficult anymore. We actually get to just be present, be ourselves. And within that, everything else is secondary. Where we do it or how we do it are just all the colors and the abilities in which we can be, but we know it's our emanation and our presence is our purpose in this life. So I wanted to read this to you. I have a few quotes before we kind of come into a grounding and a kind of clearing with some of this energy. And I really wanted to read this to you guys because I wanted to give you an opportunity to contemplate it. This is coming from a Tibetan monk. And he's saying, to be a spiritual warrior, one must have a broken heart. Without a broken heart and the sense of tenderness and vulnerability, your warriorship is untrustworthy. And I just want to let you be with that one for a moment. There is something very amazing to have walked through a fire, to have walked through something that has been life-changing, life-shattering, life-transforming, and to come out of it and be so proud of how you walked through it, so feeling so like much more for who you were and what morals and virtues you had through the entire experience, or how you held yourself. That in every single thing that we go through in this life, that it's really the molding. It is that fire that molds and shapes us into who we are, and that truly the more that we keep going through in this life and growing from, we do become that diamond. We do become that beautiful masterpiece that actually gets to be that warrior on this planet. So I just thought I would share that with you, because I thought that was a very interesting perspective, to be able to hold a heart, you know, because I know Rumi says the places where there are holes in the heart are the places where we can love even deeper. So I know I kind of said that a little bit wrong, but the whole idea is the places where we definitely feel the wounds within our heart are the places that open us to love more, to feel more, and to know ourselves more. I can't see, it's a white screen. So as we start to hold this energy from the truth of our compass, as we stand here, because again, many times we're going to be called to go sit on the land to do energy work, and the land may have a lot of entity energy, spirits that need to be moved and transitioned off the planet, or who are lost, or maybe past timeline energy of, say, battlefields, or just trauma in the land. There may be any number of stuff going on within the planet, even certain places that are blocked from remote viewing and things like that, that may come in to disrupt our field, start turning off the lights in our house, in our neighborhood, or tap into our body and throw, you know, different parts of our body off, or throw parts of our energy field off, or things like that, or maybe make our car stop working for a little while. So just to know that when we are within the truth of our compass, as we sit in the land, that we all know that that is just so secondary, and it's just really honestly showing us what we're doing is so effective. And so I really love this quote, that when the warrior within you awakens, you will no longer fear death. You'll realize that a person can kill your body, but they can never kill your soul. So as I ask each of you to just tap back into your 24-dimensional shield, that within this very moment, as we just breathe in, just let's take a few breaths in, breathing that DMT breath all the way up from our tailbone up into our pineal gland. Let's just really get our energy field expanded, moving, vibrating. Let's just start to move ourselves at the frequency and the velocity of a stargate, so that we can really move some of the codes that we're going to put into the field. And just ask your higher self, amplify my field and calibrate my field to the highest, most appropriate frequency for all of the new codes that we are going to be implanting in order to restructure the morphogenetic field to be fully a strong foundation of unconditional love. Calibrate now. Calibrate all axitonial lines in the body, left to right, right to left, front to back, back to front, all diagonals. Take a deep breath. Amplifying the field, calibrating now. All the chakras in the body, the major chakras and all the minor chakras in the body, activating them high intensity in the hands and the feet. Feel your hands and feet begin to tingle and vibrate and open up, and just let the streams of light move from your fingertips and move from your feet, and just anchor into the elementals now, just connecting now into the elementals of the air, elementals of the ether, the elementals of the earth, the elementals of the water, and the elementals of the fire of the breath within. To our higher selves in this very I am present moment of now, we are hereby standing fully and completely aware with our memories wide awake now to our galactic heritage and to our remembrance that we have been seated and placed into many places within the cosmos, on many planetary systems, in many galaxies, and here we are now on planet Earth. We are hereby acknowledging all of our different races on the planet that have been anchoring and holding sacred land, sacred ground, and sacred space on this planet in order for us to create a network and a grid that has been activating and holding and balancing this planet through all of her planetary cycles. Ooh, take a deep breath. From our higher self, we are acknowledging all of the yuga cycles that are happening, and we are fully and completely awake and aware now that we are in the yuga cycle of full enlightenment and awakening now. As we come into full alignment, we can feel the brightness, the radiation, and the brilliance of the new light codes of our Rishi Godfather self coming from the great central sun and the galactic core. We can feel within this yuga cycle as we are aligning now fully and completely back to the great central sun and the central core, that we are here at an opportunity to sense and feel all of the stargates activating and opening on the planet, opening within our cellular system, within our body, and opening within the hearts and minds of all beings who are choosing to activate their brilliance and radiance now at this next stage and level of the ascension. We are the guardians. We are the emissaries of light. We have taken the oath in the crystalline waters. We have taken the baptism into being the emissary of light within our mother frequency within, and we hold within us the living waters of light. In this very I am present moment of now, each and every one of us here, calling forth to our I am presence, we are hereby activating within our morphogenetic field and within our plasma field the DNA codes of morals, that all of these morals are being aligned with the law of one mission and within universal divine law. We are hereby acknowledging our right to single soul occupancy within this lifetime. As a single soul occupant, we have the right to be the emissary and the vehicle of our higher self. Any other energies, entities, or beings that have been manipulating or directing this body have no right to this body, this mind, this nervous system, or any of the frequencies or our plasma fields any longer. Commanding from your higher self, commanding now. Dissolve, delete, and transmute out of this physical form anything that is not my higher self, commanding this now, and so it is. And just saying to yourself, I command the divine law of single soul occupancy. And so it is. That we are activating in this I am present moment of now all virtues, that we are acting within the virtues of the highest frequencies of love, of compassion, of forgiveness, of mindfulness, of presence, of living from our truth and living from our inner compass. That we hold within us the virtues of our Christalla consciousness. And from our Christos consciousness, that we proclaim that every action that we perform is imbued with the virtues of this Christos consciousness. That every thought, every feeling, and every emotion that emanates out of us through our plasmic field is imbued with this 12th dimensional frequency, uplifting and upholding these highest vibrations for ourselves and for this planet and for all creation. We command this now, and so it is. From our I am presence and our higher self, we are now commanding within our morphogenetic field boundaries. That these boundaries are fortified by our virtues and our morals. That these boundaries are boundaries that we honor. That we are hereby proclaiming to be the emissary of light of our boundaries. That we are hereby proclaiming and declaring that we will protect our boundaries. We will honor our boundaries. That our boundaries are our level of protection, of protecting the divine balance between the Hieros Gamos union of the mother and the father, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, that beautiful dance of the Shakti and the Shiva right within us. That we are acknowledging that boundaries are our responsibility, and that these boundaries, when we uphold them, are our ability to proclaim to the universe that we respect the universe, we honor the universe, and we uphold divine right order within the law of one mission. We command now within our morphogenetic field to fully and completely calibrate our boundaries, to be fully and completely in alignment to our moral compass within us and imbued with all of our virtues. Commanding this now, and so it is. Take a deep breath. Just for that breath, just imagine just feeling out with your intention into your aura plasma field, and just sense your boundaries fortifying now. This is one of the most important foundations for a protector, for a warrior of light. And now, from our I am presence, we are commanding of the higher self to now awaken and activate all codes within our plasma field for patience, for being in a state of mindfulness and observership as a compassionate, neutral witness in patience for all that is happening around us. That we are making the declaration now that every action we take is taken from our higher self and from our higher consciousness and awareness, from our truth. That we are hereby dissolving all places where we ever act from impulsiveness, from programs, from belief systems, or from reactions. Commanding now of our higher self, and just say to your higher self, I am complete with my animalistic programs of impulsiveness, programming, and belief systems based in lower vibrations. I am complete with them now. Pull them from me now, and so it is. I command that I activate myself from a place of being the neutral, compassionate witness that moves in divine right timing. And within that, commanding of the higher self to now infuse within patients the level of calm, that we are the neutral sea, that we can feel the tidal waves and we can feel the lows, that we can feel all of the waves of emotions on this planet and we can participate within them, but we do it from a place of choice. We do it from a place of mindfulness, and we do it from a place of being the navigator of our sea, and that in any moment our sea is calm, our sea is beautiful. Of our I am present moment of now, we are hereby commanding to activate the codes within our plasma field of groundedness, being grounded, being present in this reality, feeling the physicality just as much as we feel all of the higher harmonic universes, that we put value, respect, and honor into the first harmonic universe just as much as we do the second, the third, the fourth, or the fifth, that we are hereby in this very moment proclaiming to all places that we have made this earth wrong, that we have made 3D wrong, that we have made 2D wrong or 1D wrong. Any place that we have made the first harmonic universe less valuable, less evolved, or less good as any of the other harmonic universes or dimensions, we are hereby proclaiming that we do not agree to that belief system any longer. Any place that we have ever bought into that or operated from those belief systems. To our higher self, please search all of our soul matrix field and all of our Akashic records. Light up any place that we made the lower dimensional realms less valuable or good as any of the others. And in this very I am present moment of now, we do not agree to these teachings any longer. We are complete with them now. Pull them from us now. And so it is, dissolving them now, letting them transmute and dissolve, and just allow yourself to just activate the Celestine fire. It's like a beautiful sky blue sparkle that just washes through you, that burns all of that out, and be complete with that now. To our higher self, we are commanding to embody and activate within our plasma field wisdom, the wisdom of our higher self, the wisdom of all of our lifetimes of learning, the wisdom of all of our galactic memories, the wisdom of all our higher avatar God self joint consciousness, unity consciousness, the wisdom of nature, the wisdom of the elementals, the wisdom of the collective consciousness, the wisdom of the universe and the divine mind of God. We are hereby fully and completely activating within our plasma field now divine wisdom. Activate it now as part of our moral compass and the compass of our truth. And so it is. Taking another deep breath. And to our higher self, we are commanding now to activate within our morphogenetic field and the codes of our plasma understanding. That within the wisdom there is understanding, that there is spiritual adulthood, and the groundedness, the strength, and the foundation that this understanding gives to being the pool of this unconditional love. In this very I am present moment of now, we are hereby holding a level of divine understanding that allows ourselves to see the perspective of each individual. And from this perspective, the choices of others, we respect all other sentient beings and the choices that they make, and the place that they are at, and the lessons that they are choosing, that we see and understand the divine spark within them, and we hold our boundaries and our unconditional love, knowing that through your understanding, you see their truth and you see their struggle as just a part of their choosing in order for them to discover their truth. And to our I am present, to our higher self, we are now commanding to activate within our plasma field all of the codes of compassion. Compassion, the neutral, compassionate witness, and the compassion we hold for all sentient beings, all the trillions of sentient beings on this planet, and all the trillions and trillions and trillions and infinite number of sentient beings that are in all the planetary systems, inner Earth, surface Earth, physical form, non-physical form, all levels of sentient consciousness that exist within all levels of creation. That we hold that compassion. And now we bring within all of this the blanket of unconditional love. And for a moment, just teleport now to the great central sun, center of the galaxy. Let those crystalline waters wash through you, that unconditional love. And let it stream all the way down through all your avatars, your plasma bodies, your light bodies, your crystalline bodies, and all the way down as they get into even more solid structures, and all the way down, and trickle it all the way down into the physical form that you observe yourself sitting in now. And let it pour down your crown and through all of your body. And ask yourself, am I willing to completely let the past go? Am I willing to completely be present in the now? Am I willing to, in this moment, within an instant, forgive myself, my family, and every experience I've ever had? And can I love it so much now because it all gave me the opportunity to be the person that I am now, sitting here now, and to all the past from my I am presence. So just from your I am presence proclaiming, to all of my past, I thank you for all of the fires, for all of the challenges, for all of the gifts, for all of the highs, for all of the lows, for all of my lessons, for all of the individuals that I have interacted with that have helped to mold me into who I am today. To all of my past, I set you free. You are not responsible for me now. I claim all of my responsibility. I set you free. I declare to be present in the now. I declare I am that I am. My past is my past. My past was a path that allowed me to be where I am right now. It was a part of my journey, but it does not define who I am today. Who I am today is who I choose to be now. And I am an emissary of light. I am a pillar of strength. I am my higher self. I am joy. I am love. I am freedom. I am compassion. I am virtues. I am patience. I am strength. I am wisdom. I am understanding, and I am boundaries. I am unconditional love. And I am free. I am free. I am free. I am free. And so it is. Take a deep breath. Every warrior of the light has felt afraid of going into battle. Every warrior of the light has, at some time in the past, lied or betrayed someone. Every warrior of the light has trodden a path that was not his. Every warrior of the light has suffered for the most trivial of reasons. Every warrior of the light has at least once believed he was not a warrior of the light. Every warrior of the light has failed in his spiritual duties. Every warrior of the light has said yes when he wanted to say no. Every warrior of the light has hurt someone he loved. That is why he is the warrior of the light. Because he has been through all of this and yet has never lost hope of being better than he is. From Paul Kahlo. A warrior's love is the world. He embraces this enormous earth. The earth knows that he loves it, and it bestows on him its care. That's why his life is filled to the brim, and his state, wherever he'll be, will be plentiful. He roams on the path of his love, and wherever he is complete. Carlos Castaneda. So I just want to bring this presentation to kind of a full circle with us. So how do we protect? We talked a little bit in the very beginning about some of the things that we've been doing as far as clearing, but I just want to bring a mindfulness to our toolbox, how we protect. We protect by holding our 12-dimensional shield or our 24-dimensional shield. We protect by knowing it is a part of us just as much as our physical body. Therefore, we take as much care preparing and maintaining it as we would getting dressed and getting ready for the day. How we protect is also by setting sacred space. So for those of us that are traveling now, part of this is bring your sacred items with you. Bring your crystals, bring your sage, candles. No matter where I travel, I immediately set up the room. So here I have a candle going. I bring my sweet grass. I bring my sage, piles of organite, crystals, all of the gift. I set the room. I set the space. So much like others were sharing, what you want to do is no matter where we are, set sacred space. So for those of you that have been to the Ahava house, you can feel an amplified version of that. That is a space that we spend a lot of time fortifying and amplifying and creating a radiance in. So therefore, make your home the most sacred place that you can create it to be. Make your land so sacred so that when you travel, you know what it feels like to be in that space. And so when you get to your hotel room or when you're staying at someone else's house or when you're in someone else's energy, there's a huge contrast. It's easy to tell when the energy isn't flowing right and it doesn't feel as grounded or as flowing or supportive for you. So your job then is to basically, now you're the protector of wherever you're standing. Make that space just as sacred as anywhere else. And sometimes we're drawn to land that really needs help. And it might take days, and it's generally for however long that you're guided to actually be in a specific location, and is how long it will probably be to really anchor some beautiful energy into that land. So know that you can create the space. So we've also talked many times about creating a vortex within your space. So whether or not you actually go create an actual circle in your land with crystals and rocks, setting the sacred directions, and anchoring it with a ceremony. You can create, just with your intentions, a transit vortex right within your room, commanding it. It really turns into like almost like a tornado of beautiful energy that acts like a vacuum for any spirits, any entities, any nefarious energies, anything that is of lower vibrations. Remember too, when we come into a space that has been not taken care of, so not a lot of love, maybe people live there that aren't conscious of the energy, it's no different than dirty laundry sitting around for a long time. So if somebody, say, has been sitting in a room or a hotel room, but they were in a bad mood or they were grumpy, all of their negative thoughts kind of float like clouds in the corners of a room. So you can go into a room and feel icky energy, and a lot of times it's just the thoughts and energies of others that get stagnant and stuck like little clouds and puffs in the room. And so we go in and we can either sage, you can sage, create the vortex, do whatever you need to do. So clearing space, again, is part of all of this. Again, I really love organite, shungite, the candles. For me, sweetgrass is definitely one of my favorites, and then the sage and the Palo Santo. So you find what's right for you. It could be drumming, it could be rattles, it could be singing, it could be toning, it could be dancing. Dancing in a space clears space very, very quickly. So another way to do it is just sit, anchor yourself into your center of your space. Amplify your plasma field around you, ask your higher self to amplify your vortex spin so that it actually creates a higher vibrational spin. You kind of become the vortex for a bit, and you just start to burn out. So imagine plasma is just going to burn out anything of a lower vibration. Use your intentions with love. So everything we've been talking about, love, compassion, your boundaries, your protection, just that unconditional, just being present with it. So everything is sent with sacredness. So we don't want to make any energy wrong, even if it feels like a demonic energy, shadow energies, spells, curses, superimpositions, any kind of that kind of energy in there. You know, yeah, it's no fun to deal with sometimes, but our job now as standing here as the emissaries is we don't want to make anything wrong anymore. We want to be the neutral, compassionate witness that we can use elevated emotion. So if you ever use the vibration, I'm going to tell you just a note of caution when you use the vibration of anger. If you ever use vibration of anger, because anger is meant to just kickstart something. It's really telling you that there's something within your boundaries that is not being honored. But to hold anger is devastating. If a wave of anger comes through, it is meant to just be the flippest, quickest session that just gets you into motion as a warrior of light. But you want to make every action, every thought, every intention, every clearing, and every travel you do on the astral planes or the dream realms or anywhere you travel to be done as a neutral, compassionate witness, because any lower vibrations, anger even, will entangle you to that which you are clearing. I cannot stress this enough. If you are not in pure balance when you are out there, quote unquote, on the battlefield, you will entangle to the very stuff that you are not wanting on the planet or within the energy fields any longer. So this is something that not a lot of people teach or share, because I don't think there's as much understanding around it, but you guys get to hold this energy and know that we want to be neutral. We want to be balanced. If our energies ever get heightened, make sure that you are so precisely aware and mindful of that energy that you're using, so that you're using it and it's not actually binding you to anything. So that moves right into holding mindfulness. And of course, the Christ consciousness. So Christ consciousness, again, is holding our Christ avatar God self. It's the Christi levels. It's that Ka, Ra, Ya, Sa, Ta, Allah. It is the first 7 sound tones of the universe. So it's our 7 raise in frequencies. I could go on and on of how the Christ consciousness is. We've talked about it so many times. It is a frequency, it is a vibration, it is our pre-matter consciousness that resonates outside of duality. So it is in purest unity and love and light. So when we hold that within this realm, we are literally bringing that level of presence into this density. And so just to create sacred space everywhere we go, I don't even care if it's the grocery store or the gas station. Let's do it. Let's be those creating the sacred space, because I don't care if it's a grocery store or a gas station. Those are brand new. Go underneath that and you're standing on top of sacred Mother Earth. So sacred land everywhere we go. And the last thing, it's a little bit covered up, but it's rituals and ceremony and prayers. So part of what we do, creating the circles, creating just an awareness through the lunar cycles, through the eclipses and the different times and moments where things happen. Our own solar returns are very special, just to know that make life a sacred ritual, that everything you do is done in a consciousness and a state of prayer. So with that, I'm just going to bring us all together just for one moment to just feel us holding the circle again, holding it within the earth, holding it within our new codes, activated within our plasma fields as we hold this sacred space, to all of our higher selves, to all of our guardians who have been holding the law of one mission and supporting us through all of this. We stand here now as the emissaries of light, standing here beside you, with our heart and our compass aligned fully and completely with all of these new codes. We say thank you, thank you, thank you. As we bring the sacred circle to a close, thank you. And so it is.